Number of Lehigh Valley cross-country runners and teams, for that matter, of having quite a season. Sam Luff of Emmaus recently placed 5th at the Great American Festival in North Carolina. He's liable to be an All-American before it's all over, while the Parkland girls knocked off defending state champion Hatboro Horsham in the Centaur Invitational at DeSales University. All of this, of course, makes for some very interesting meets locally. Let's check them out. 2 of them taking place in Bethlehem yesterday, and this is at the Monacocy Fields. And race number 1, this featuring Central Catholic, Becca, Emmaus, and Easton. This obviously the boys. Easton coming into this one with the better overall record of, or the better league mark among the 4 at 6-2. They'd go on to win this race, winning 2-0. Emmaus Central wound up 1-1 and Northampton 0-2. Now individually, Sam Luff from Emmaus bested the field. He crossed the finish line in a solid time for him at 15:49. McFadden, Brett, Fowler, Central, Easton, and Easton pacing them in the top 4. Now in the second heat, it was Liberty, Northampton, Nazareth, and Freedom. This was a very important afternoon for the Hurricanes, coming in at 7-1, trying to keep pace with first place Parkland. They would go on to win both matchups there. They'd come out 2-0, Freedom, Nazareth 1-1. Your winner of this one was Tyler McCandless. He would cross the finish line in first place. Here were your winners afterwards.
I had a big race on Saturday down in North Carolina, so I was a little bit tired today, so I kind of wanted to go out conservatively and then just kind of see what happens through there and just run my race, really.
I was gunning for Luff's time that he ran earlier, which is like 15:50 or 15:40. I ran 15:35, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, girls action, same location. That's Central Catholic's Megan Burns crossing the finish line. The Vikings having a pretty solid year as well. She finished first, with Easton Runner coming in there second. Central Catholic taking 3 of the top 4 spots to win that heat as well. Moving along here now to the second heat. This would be Liberty, Northampton, Nazareth, and Freedom. Aaron Mattias of Liberty will cross the finish line in a time of 18:46. Coming up in the team event, Liberty would go 2-0. Nazareth and Northampton would go 1-1 in the dual meet competition, and Freedom wound up at 0-2. Beautiful afternoon for a run, as you can see the athletes taking advantage in that, and a little tired at the end of the run.
It was a really nice day out, and at the beginning, Marcy and I got a little boxed in, but we just kind of took it out. This is a really nice course.
I just wanted to go out really fast, like for our first mile, and then just try to keep going through it. And I was kind of confident about where I wanted to run, and I just kind of followed my plan, and it turned out pretty well, I think.
Turned out pretty well indeed. Let's check out the standings, and here they are. First of all, for the girls, and Parkland at 8-0, as I mentioned. Here's a program or a team, folks, that very well could go on to win a PIAA championship. Their toughest competition might come right here in the Valley. Central Catholic still unbeaten, followed by Easton and Whitehall. 2 terrific programs, Liberty and Emmaus in the hunt there as well. Becca, Nazareth, Northampton, Allen, and Durham rounding out the final standings there. Now, a word of note, next Tuesday at the Allentown Parkway, Parkland, Central, Whitehall, and Emmaus will determine your Lehigh Valley Conference regular season champ. 4 o'clock for that match, that run. That should be a terrific afternoon. Moving on now to the boys' standings. And again, up on top, it is Parkland at 8-0. They have some good runners there. They're doing some good stuff. Liberty there you see trying to keep pace. There's still some unfinished business. They're now 7-1. Easton always terrific runners there at 6-2. Central 4-2 there for the boys. Nazareth at 4-4. Allen, Emmaus, Becca, Northampton, Whitehall, Freedom, and Durham rounding out your standing in the boys. Boy, some really good stuff there. We certainly hope you enjoyed that coverage right there. Well, over in the Colonial League, we have an interesting story for you as we welcome in now Leah Cozy, young lady who went to New York City on a modeling assignment, and she came back a cross-country champion.
That's absolutely right. It sounds so crazy, doesn't it? But it's not crazy when you think about that she is a dedicated runner and her coach thinks that she's great. What's crazy is it was just the last minute. Dana Steller's running career started a few years back when she signed up for a race all by herself with a few dollars in quarters, and then told her mother the morning of the race that she had to take her. Well, to her mother's surprise, Dana ended up winning that one, and today she's still shocking her mom, but this time beating thousands to the finish line.
She looks like your average teenage girl, but Dana Steller is anything but average. While she excels in cross-country running at Northwestern Lehigh High School, on Sunday, September 26, she took her running career to a whole new level. becoming the first female to cross the finish line in the Tunnel to Towers run, a 5K race held in New York City with 6,000 participants.
I didn't even know I was first, and as I was running by, people would be like, "Oh, there's the first girl." I'm just like, "Oh my God," and that was me, and it's really cool.
Winning the race came as a shock to Dana, mainly because she never planned on running to begin with. Dana was in New York City for something completely different when her mother saw the sign-up sheet in their hotel and suggested she participate.
When I found out she had won, I had just completed my part of the race, and I was just like in shock. Like, you can't be serious. I thought, I knew, she runs well, but she didn't know where she was going or what she was doing, and it was just a big surprise.
But what Dana and her mom didn't know was what the race had in store for them emotionally. Participants in the Tunnel to Towers run retraced the steps made by fallen firefighter Steven Siller, who on September 11th took his final heroic steps as he ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to the World Trade Center to help others.
You ran through the tunnel, and there was, I think, 356, I'm not sure, firefighters who passed away on September 11th. So they had 356 firefighters that were just in remembrance of all the ones that passed away, holding flags throughout the tunnel. So throughout the whole tunnel, as you're running, you see all these people, and it was so amazing. She came home on Monday, and she's like, "Yeah, I won this race." I was like, "Oh, that's really good," because we always do random 5Ks. And then she's like, "Yeah, it's out of 6,000 people." I was like, "Are you crazy?" And she starts telling me about it, and I was really excited for her.
How did you feel knowing one of your girls won this race?
Oh, it was fantastic. Knowing that I'm training her and she's with us. It's a good thing she's on our team. That's one good thing.
Unfortunately, after winning, Dana wasn't able to stick around for the awards ceremony because she had to race over to her other commitment, which was a different kind of runway modeling.
I would say she's an overachiever and with endless energy, and it's just, I have a hard time just keeping up with her.
And just days after winning, the 16-year-old was up and running again, taking first place in a recent Colonial League meet.
I know she can go top 10 in the state, if she runs really well. So that's my goal for her, to be top 10 in the state this year.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, definitely. Running, it gets boring here and there, but it's fun, to win and everything. It's definitely worth it.
Dana's coach, Chris Ditzel, told me that she also likes to run with the guys when she trains. Every day, she'll like to run with them so it gets her in better endurance. It is. And here now is a little tip from Chris Ditzel. If you like to run, he gave us his key to cross-country running.
Most of running most of it is mental. All the workouts, but it has to be in your head. I know your body gets tired, and your main thing is keeping your mind focused that you can do it. I know your body gets tired after a race like this, after 2 miles, but you just got to tell your mind just to keep going and just to finish strong.
Good tip, huh?
Mind over matter, huh?
That's right.
All right, thanks, Leah. Fine report there. When we come back, we're going to turn our attention to tennis. How's everybody's forehand? Al DiCarlo up next.